This is the Hometown Hoops Tip-Off Special. Now, let's join your hosts, Tom Eschen and Cory Coppock.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Hometown Hoops Season Tip-Off Special, where we set the scene for the local high school, college, and pro basketball season.
That's right. Tonight, you're going to get a real taste of what to expect this year.
Yeah, so just like we will every week, let's tip it off with a look around the region. We have a rich tradition of high school basketball in mid-Michigan that stretches across the region, covers all classes and genders. That talent has produced a number of state champs, too.
But many of those who win state titles fall victim to graduation and come crashing back down to earth the following season. We see it all the time. Yeah. I took a look at some of our local teams who made headlines last year and those who will be rewriting the script this year. The 2014-2015 season was good to several of our local schools, starting with the Beecher boys, who not only made a run at a state title, they blew right through it.
You can't be caught up in what happened last year. You got to try to win the moment, and our kids right now are trying to win the moment.
Carmen Ainsworth seems to be cautiously optimistic about their girls basketball program. The Cavaliers have been one of the most consistent teams in mid-Michigan, and this year should be no different.
Last year we had like a little bit of division, but this year we're definitely working towards making a more cohesive and concrete type of team. And of course we're trying to go state championship, league championship. It's all out there to grab, and we really feel like we can be the team to get it.
At Ithaca, both the boys and girls team lost a combined 6 regular season games last year. The boys have virtually everyone back from last year's squad.
When you turn all 5 starters off a team that was in the regionals last year, I think the sky's the limit in terms of our ability, and I expect good things to happen.
And the girls boast one of the best players in mid-Michigan as Kayla Bellis enters her sophomore season.
This year we're going to try and make our defense a little better. We're talking a lot. We're going to try talking more, and having to do with getting further. We want to try and make it past regionals, go undefeated this year hopefully.
Year in and year out, basketball dominates the headlines during the winter months in the Flint Bay region, and 2015 should be no different. Let's see how many teams we can get to the Breslin Center this year. And we saw Beecher at the beginning of that piece, perennially playing at the end of every year.
Yeah, they sure are. I talked to Coach Mike Williams recently. He said, quote, "We're in trouble when it came to the team they've scheduled to start the season." Of course they are. I mean, we'll see what happens. So they're hard at work. We mic'd up Coach at practice, so take a listen.
Sound off. We too quiet. Let me hear you. Too quiet. We too quiet. No unforced mistakes. Talk. Come on, get out there, Idris. Get out there. Good passes. Good passes. It's all focus. It's all focus. No reason for a mistake. Outlet. Push. Timing. Good. Yes, sir. That leaves you wide open right here. If you get it back, automatic shot. You get the rebound out the net. You got to get deep and set your feet and make a good pass, okay? Let me get the guards down there with Coach Tracy. Forwards down here with me and Coach Rob. To get this high. You got to get this high. You can't be here. You can't be here. You got to get to your spot so you got your angle. So it looks like this. You throwing it up. You stepping through me, jump stop, finish. All right? Screen away. Ball. Pop out. You gotta make the room. You gotta carve that out. His man gonna jump. Now, Jay, stay wide, because your man don't know which way you gonna go.
Yeah, I was at that practice. I was itching to go play. I was fired up. I wanted to get in one of those drills.
I know, I feel it. I am too now. But now we're going to go to a coach with a different style in Keith Smith at Hamady. The last time we saw the Hamady girls basketball team, they were accepting their second-place trophy after a loss in the state finals to Calumet. But 2015 is a new year, and Hamady returns the vast majority of this team that went to the championship game last year. Both coaches and players alike have taken the lessons they learned from last season and filed them away as they look to finally bring home that first-place trophy.
About decision making and time management, we struggled with that a little bit last year, and definitely in the state title game, and definitely boxing out. So we're kind of still struggling with boxing out, but we're getting better.
We didn't adjust well to the rough play of the game. They're asking for the games to be called more freelance this year, where more of a finesse game and eliminate some of the rough play, and which should work into our favor. But when we got to that final game, things got pretty physical, and we didn't adjust well. So this year, we spent a lot more time in the weight room, and I think the girls are a lot stronger this year and ready to deal with that.
Hawks lost Aaliyah Hill from last year's team, which means several other players will have to step up if they want to go back to the title game. But right now, I wouldn't bet against them.
Well, it's only appropriate that we follow Hamady with Nouvelle Catholic Central, who lost to the Hawks in the Class C quarterfinals last season by just 2 points. Nouvelle has their stars coming back. Charlie Hengba will anchor the middle, while SVSU signee Laurel Jackman, a legit Miss Basketball contender, will be the scorer. New season, but they're using last year's loss as motivation.
About that every single day. Me and our other captains talk about it all the time. We talk about remembering that exact feeling in that moment, and we're not going to have that this year.
We definitely want to make it as far as we did last year and obviously to the end, but right now our main goal is just to get as best as we can be and get ready for that.
Maybe we'll see another Hamady Nouvelle playoff showdown. Who knows?
That would be awesome.
It's time now for our fast break, and on the other side we speak with a talented young athlete using his past as motivation.
Get hit with something, keep going down, you got to get back up and keep bouncing back.
That's Alma's 6'10" big man, Dylan Carl. He talks about his relationship with his late father, how that's impacted his career, as we continue here on the Hometown Hoops Tip-Off Special. Welcome back to Hometown Hoops, our season tip-off edition. Now, Alma senior Dylan Carl certainly stands out on the basketball court, not just because he's standing taller than everybody else. At 6 feet 10 inches, his athleticism and skill set make him one of the best players in the region. Skills he's honed since he was a kid, sharing a love of the game with his late father, which has motivated him to this very day. Kevin Durant is one of the NBA's most unique players. Tall, lanky, but can dribble and shoot like a guard, making him one of the best. He's Dylan Carl's favorite player, and you could probably imagine why just seeing him play.
And like Kevin Durant's like 6'11", he's skinny too. Like if he can go get over and around these guys, you know, being as skinny as he is too, and maybe if I did those moves, I can too.
Dylan's passion for basketball was born by sharing the game with his father as a child. They'd watch games together. His dad would support him game after game. Right?
Yeah, he went to all my games. He was the loudest too. Like I could hear him if I'm going, he'd be like, "Come on, Dylan!" Like that's who I heard.
On April 15th, 2007, Dylan's life changed forever when his father lost his battle with cancer. A devastating blow. But to remember him, Dylan kept his passion for the game alive.
It was definitely different, but I mean, it just made me work that much harder. Like, I mean, I was just like, man, I want to make him proud so much. And I was like, all right, let's keep going, let's keep going. So I think it helped, but it was definitely hard, but made me who I am today.
And he's done that. The recruiting process was intense. Hundreds of letters poured in, several phone calls a night. Then finally, the offer came.
I remember when he got his first offer last year from U of D. And he was almost in tears. He gives me this big hug. And he's like, "It paid off, Coach. I got that offer." And I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "There's going to be more to come."
But then things got quiet, leaving Dylan to wonder if any more were coming.
He said that to me. He's like, "Hey, Coach, am I going to get any more offers?" And I'm like, "We got to do what we can do. Let's work hard to make you the best player we can do." I mean, that's what we can do. We can't decide if somebody else is going to offer you. Let's get in the gym.
With that work put in, 10 more pounds gained in the weight room this past summer, he got 4 more offers and found the right fit at Indiana-Purdue Fort Wayne University, a Summit League Division I school. Another example of turning a negative into motivation.
Yeah, like you just gotta, if you want something, you just gotta keep working and working. Like just like you said, bounce back, you know, you can't just get hit with something, keep going down, you gotta get back up and keep bouncing back.
His dream is to play professionally, maybe even in the NBA someday, and to continue to make his father proud, playing a sport they both loved, forever motivated by his father's memory, something he experiences every time he puts his shoes on. You can see there he puts the date of his father's death on his shoes so he remembers him. He should be fun to watch, probably plenty of highlights this season from Dylan Carl. Now we go to another end of the spectrum. A few years ago, Bay City Western had a senior big man just south of 7 feet tall, Matt Costello.
Coincidence? The now senior Michigan State Spartan is a key cog to this special Michigan State basketball team, only a few years removed from starring at nearby Bay City. 2 Class A district titles, the leading scorer in Wolves history, the first ever Mr. Basketball from Bay County, an impressive player to say the least. Then fast forward to where Tom and I were both in the locker room last year when Costello broke down after MSU's loss to Duke in the Final Four, showing his passion and love for this Michigan State team, something that started right here in the Flint Bay region. So we asked his high school coach, Chris Watts, about it.
Very passionate about the game, you know, loves the game. wants to be as good as he can be at it, and demands that of others. Unfortunately, we punched the ball into the stands the other night and got the technical. I'd seen that before, so but I doubt if he'll do that again.
We're looking forward to seeing just how far Costello and MSU can go. We'll have more on that very, very soon. Speaking of coaches, we speak with one great one, a legend near and far. Mott head coach Steve Schmidt comes into the studio as the Hometown Hoops season tip-off special rolls on.
You're watching the Hometown Hoops tip-off special. Now let's join your hosts, Tom Eschen and Cory Coppock.
Welcome back to Hometown Hoops. The Mott basketball team is one of the best year in and year out in the junior college ranks, and they have the championship rings to prove it. They're led by a Hall of Famer, Steve Schmidt. So now Tom Eschen will go one-on-one with Coach in the studio. Tom?
Thanks so much, Cory. We do bring in Coach Schmidt now. Thanks for joining us tonight, Coach.
My pleasure.
And Coach, you were just talking about it, 25 years of bringing these kids into Mott. You've established such a tradition. What do you tell the kids when you're recruiting them? How do you get them to come to Mott?
I tell them that you're going to go into a program that has high expectations. We compete for championships. We're going to work hard, and you're going to have a coach and coaching staff and people that will work as hard with you and for you as anybody in the country. And it's one thing to say it, now you got to back it up.
Right. The championships also speak for themselves a little bit, I'd imagine, right, for those kids?
Absolutely. Yeah. Winning's fun. I'm going to tell you, winning is fun, but more importantly, of the national championships, the 4 that we've had 87 kids in all that time frame, move on to play at big universities, small universities all over the country. So we actually help them reach their dreams and goals if they do what they're supposed to do and keep working. And it's great watching kids on national TV and what have you. Yeah. So it's been a journey.
Must be fun to see them move on too. And thinking about yourself a little bit, I mean, you've worked with USA basketball. You have the gym named after you. I mean, you've been at this junior college level for so long. What's keeping you around here? I mean, maybe something about a little bit of what you just said, right?
Well, sometimes I ask that question, and I wonder if I need to go in for a checkup, because every year you lose at least half your team. And with our standards, the last couple of years I've lost more than half my team because they didn't take their academics seriously. They didn't work as hard as you wish they would. I guess there's 2 ways to look at it. My dream has been to coach 4 years, get a junior, a senior. There's a lot of maturity difference, but I get to work with twice as many kids too to help them reach those dreams and goals. But it's a challenge. I think all coaching levels, high school right on up, it's a challenge. The things you mentioned, it's a thrill every day I walk into that gym and see your name up there. And I just want to keep making those people that made that decision proud and keep that program competing for championships. We struggled last year. It kind of woke me up. We had our worst year at 16-12 that we've had in a while. And I think it recharged, it got me refocused, and I'm excited about this year's team. They've been really pleased, and it's almost like, well, hey, Mott's back on track.
Yeah, I can see that in your eyes, Coach. You're excited, I can tell.
I'm always excited when you got a good team, and the guys, the best thing about it is they have good chemistry. It makes it fun to go into that gym, and it's even better when that gym, they honored you by putting your name on it.
That is pretty cool. Thank you so much, Coach. We appreciate you coming in today. Let's go back to Cory.
Thank you, Tom. A living legend joins us in studio next to talk about everything basketball you need to know for this season. Morris Peterson joins us next.
You're watching the Hometown Hoops tip-off special. Now let's join your hosts, Tom Eschen and Cory Coppock.
Welcome back to Hometown Hoops, and we've brought in our guest analyst for the night. Morris Peterson joins us now here on the set. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Morris. We appreciate your analysis here, your expertise.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to play a little assist turnover with you. So you got to grade us a little bit, see if Cory or I, who gets the more assists, more turnover, who has the best ratio at the end of the night.
I'm tough now. It's tough to get an assist from me now.
Don't pull any punches. We're okay.
All right. We'll start with Michigan hoops. You think about this season, so many players coming back from injuries. I'm going to say that they're going to peak at the right time because they're going to start figuring out how to play with each other as they get towards the end of the season, as they get these guys back. So that's when they're going to peak towards February, March, and they'll be dangerous come tournament time.
And I would say that the key factor in Michigan's success this year will be the development of Karis LeVert. I think this team can only go so far as he can take them.
So more of an individual take.
Yeah.
You know what? I will have to give Cory the assist, man. We got the turnover this time.
Man.
LeVert, great guy, great player. unfortunately, last year he had some injuries and he's been battling, but been playing stronger, playing better, and he's more of a leader of the team. So
and you think he's kind of an NBA guy?
I think
possibly.
so. I think he has a shot. Athleticism, he plays defense, and it's always room for that in the NBA. But I think also that Walton kid, I think they can go as far as he takes them as well, because last year, yeah, he killed us at Michigan State. Played well, and he's a guy who, as you know, the point guard position is really important. So you got a guy like that who plays with emotion, plays hard, and runs the team. I think that's where it starts.
Okay, so we'll go to Michigan State now. You're a Spartan, 2000 national champion. That's pretty cool to have in the studio.
It is actually, yeah.
That's pretty sweet. And obviously, top 5 in the country at this point. They've reloaded. Tom Izzo has this team really working. He's got a great recruiting class coming in next year.
Yes.
I'm going to say, I'm not going to go with the new guys. I'll go with the senior, Denzel Valentine. Already get triple-double this year.
Right.
He's going to be the reason they make the Final Four. That's my stance on Michigan State.
And I'm going to say Michigan State's going to go to the Final Four and maybe even beyond this year because they're just much deeper this year.
You know what? I got to give y'all the hockey assist. Both of y'all right. I think Denzel is playing well. I like the statement he made last year. When they got to the Final Four, he said, "Coach, we'll be back." And he's playing like that now. And everybody knows that Coach, he brings, they have a hard schedule to begin with, and they challenge them, and they rose to the occasion. McQuaid came out, the freshman, played well. Davis is, strong. He plays with some aggressiveness as a freshman. So I like the direction of the team. So I think both of you guys are right.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
We'll take it. All right, now
I'm
we'll
2 for 2, just so you know.
I've been in Toronto, man, so hockey is big down there. So
That's
I
true.
get the hockey assist.
you know the Canadians out there. All right, so we'll go to something right up your alley, Morris. Here we go to the NBA now. The Detroit Pistons, a solid start this year, and you think about what they've got. Their nucleus of this team, more of a Stan Van Gundy role we've spoken about earlier in the program too. I think the Jennings, his coming back into the fold here. Reggie Jackson already in the point guard. I think however that situation shakes out is going to really determine the rest of their season.
I would say that the biggest determination as to how far this team goes would be the development of Andre Drummond down low. Your teammate Mateen Cleaves told us last year that he sees a young Akeem Olajuwon there. I don't see it, but maybe I'm wrong.
Man, you know what? Both y'all kind of got together and said y'all want to get assists.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You say that.
You got to share the ball, right?
That's right. Both of y'all get assists. You're right. Drummond has been playing well. I think his next development should be asking for the ball down low, being more aggressive, and getting with guys like Hakeem Olajuwon and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Dwight Howard, all those guys do it. So I think that's the next step for him. Then when you look at Brandon Jennings and Reggie Jackson, Jennings got hurt. Jackson came in. Came from OKC, playing well, came from a system like Russell Westbrook, exciting. I think if Brandon Jennings accepts a role of being a six-man, I think it'll make the team better because he's a guy more of a scorer. He can get in there, score in bunches, get the crowd going.
What if that doesn't work between Reggie and Brandon?
Well, y'all know somebody got to go, man. Somebody got to go.
Thank you so much for joining us, Morris. Appreciate it. Thanks, man. We'll wrap things up with a new weekly segment ranking the high school teams coming up next. Welcome back to the Hometown Hoops season tip-off special. Run out of time, so it's time for something we'll be doing every week at the end of the show. Power rankings, boys and girls from the big schools to the small schools. I think Holly's going to have a good team this year. They only lost by 2 to a good Walled Lake Western team last season. In the playoffs, Alma and Dylan Carl, they've reloaded as we saw as well. Brian Bowen's absence dropping Arthur Hill a bit. In Class C, I think Malik Ellison is going to have a big year for Beecher. Casey Williams for MLS will be back. And Genesee Christian had that soccer state title. Maybe that'll carry over in hoops, too. On the girls' side, Dow's going to reload. Carmen Ainsworth looked good in practice. Goodrich loses to Nia Davis, so that'll hurt, but a good tradition there. The smaller schools, Nouvelle, they've really reloaded. Hamady right behind them. Beecher should be complete as well.
And my power rankings are a little bit different. It starts with Frankenmuth. For me, they need to be tougher than they were last year. Give me Midland, Essexville, Garber, Goodrich, and Holly. And then going down the list, Beecher lost Cedric Moten, but I like what they have coming back. Casey Williams and MLS. In the girls' Class A and B, give me Heritage. Went to the Final Four last year. They atop the rankings, followed by Bullet Creek. And then in Class C and D, Hamady, and then Nouvelle and Beecher. All definitely keep an eye on them.
Thank you much for joining us tonight. We'll have all the action on Hometown Hoops every Friday night this season. Have a great night.